We're from the 4th century, just before the Romans leave to go back to their empire in the east. So we're from the fortress of Presidium, which is where Bridlington is now, but the fort has fallen into the sea, unfortunately. So all we have is maps to show where it was.
Pressure-wise on that? It would depend on how much you tighten the torque on board.
You get about 4 minutes out of this on a good day, won't you?
I dare say, yeah.
Yeah.
And on how much you tighten the torque on board.
Tension springs on that. But like I say, you can fire over that building over there, no problem.
So with normal weaving, you know, you have to sort of go in and out of your stitches, and it takes quite a while. So what I would do with this, if I pull it down, feed it through, and then push it up, all the glues have come to the top, and that does your ins and outs for you. Makes it much faster. And I could get a wider one and have a much wider piece of fabric. It could be for decoration, for straps, tying bags and things together, for marking your spear as yours.
The shields fit together to give excellent protection from enemy troops.
Okay! Hey! Good! Good!
So only the richest again can afford to be slaughtering meat and have a better diet. Their diet was really good because they didn't have access to a large quantity of meat. They did have meat, but you tend to slaughter meat when you can no longer afford to feed the animal through the winter. So strangely enough, it would be in the early winter months where you had a surplus of meat to eat, and quite often it's the later part of summer when everything's growing in the fields that you start to run out of food. That's what we call a hunger gap, about a month where you'd have to scrape by. And contrary to popular opinion, they lived decent lives. You know, you could expect to live to 50 or 60 if a disease didn't get you there. So.
He was a very clever man. He was very savvy, not only militarily but also politically. So he wasn't just a raving lunatic, not just sort of a blood-soaked madman like
all of the
unlike all of the
Crusaders.
Yes.
Yeah, if you sew it on separately, the embroidery, it means you can then replace it onto other garments when the garments has gotten a bit old, you know, sort of like tearing at the seams.
The sheet of Persian from the 12th century.
So can you buy them ready-made, or do you have to get them?
No, you can buy them ready-made because you get a lot of Indian shops and they tend to sell them. Try and make most of our clothing where possible, but it is quite hard to sort some of it.
Francis Drake has just been knighted, just been made a Sir by the Queen for circumnavigating the world. He returned a couple of years, but this fella here.
The Queen, of course, will benefit half of the prize money for her treasury, and Frobisher gets a quarter. The rest being divided amongst the crew according to their station.
Oh, so it's not equally set amongst all who are on board?
No. The captain and master will get the greatest share. Deptford. Now that is London.
The great river that comes upon London.
Quite so.
The Thames. The Thames, aye.
It is the place where the Queen will refit her ships. Having taken this one here, being a Spaniard, of course, quite lousy within and without, we took out all the goods and things within, all the fixtures and fittings, and all the sails were taken down. And then by tying to the tops of the mast, you can careen the ship over on the foreshore. That is to pull her over so that the bottom is exposed.
Oh, I know. Upon Hull, I have not been upon the place myself, though I've talked to many who have trade, because many of them that ply upon the Trent do have trade with Hull and such like. It's been a great port in these parts.
And we will bide our time here for a week or two before we decide.
I think more attracted by the ale than by his wife.
So what brings you for?
I believe Bess was cutting some string for some repairs.
Very large. I may try again with an egg, though let's pray this time.
Mistress, I believe Mary does need further instruction in peeling an egg.
You can't waste these. I'm not made of money.
You lazy good-for-nothings!
Troops of the Earl of Newcastle, loyal to the King, are marching to try and take Chesterfield. So the cavalry move on the field. Scout position. Cavalry were able to pin infantry because the infantry need to adopt a defensive posture against horsemen. The Royalist troopers unsure what to do as more reinforcements are pouring onto the field.
We're the 68th Lambton's Regiment of Foot in 1758, when the regiment was founded to help the British Army during the 7 Years' War. Well, the main thing that our regiment took part of was part of a policy called Descents on the French Coast, where the British Army launched amphibious assaults on the Channel ports in France to destroy shipping and whatnot. And what they were basically trying to do is to distract the French from the German theatre, where the French were currently fighting the British Army and the Prussians in Germany, and the British weren't doing very well. So we tried to relieve the tension by attacking the French coast, and it kind of worked. But our regiment, there was a big battle at St. Cast, which where the British were trying to get back onto their ships, but unfortunately they left it a little bit late, and the French army caught up to them and managed to attack them as they were getting onto the boats, and we lost our entire grenadier company, which is a bit of a shame.
Recover your bayonet! Pull your bayonet! Rest on your bayonet!
Well, at the moment, Corporal Vegas is going to be posting the sentries. It's like trouble getting buttons.
Good, right.
Together.
That's brilliant, thank you very much.
Fantastic, yeah, very good.
Yes, Hougoumont was a very important part of the battle, but of course there was another significant element, and that is the fact that if the Prussians did not come to Wellington's assistance, then the battle would have surely been lost, and of course would not have been fought. Wellington only fought the Battle of Waterloo because he knew his allies, who had already previously been beaten a few days prior by Napoleon, were going to come to his aid, and they did. They came a little bit later than he anticipated, but it was a very close run thing. The French got incredibly close to breaking Wellington's army, but they never took the farm of Hougoumont, so they were never able to force Wellington's right flank, as it were, so to speak.
I am an officer, Lieutenant Knight of the 5th Battalion, the Norfolk Regiment. We are a territorial force. We are part of the Sandringham Company. So we are on our annual camp here, and this was the last territorial camp before the outbreak of the First World War. So all the weaponry that we have here are obsolete weapons from the regular army. They are getting all the latest up-to-date weaponry. We get all the old stuff. So we have a machine gun from the Boer War of 1899, a Maxim, whereas now the regular army will be issued with the new Vickers machine gun introduced in 1912. We now have the long Lee rifle, which again is a weapon used during the Boer War, because the regular army is being issued with the short magazine Lee Enfield.
So you've got 10 rounds in the magazine, and the original rifle was single shot. So you took a single cartridge out your pouch, put it in there. The magazine was for emergency purposes only. The advantages of this rifle over the German rifle: one, it could be kept clean by the British soldier, because the cleaning kit is in the butt end of the rifle. You can keep this gun clean. If you've got dirt in there, you can clean that, clean everywhere in the gun, put that back together again. I'm now back firing again. Fired.
Hey little hen, when will you lay me an egg for my tea?
I'm doing it's a different theme on Cinderella, because I couldn't find a shoe.
What are they muffs?
Have you done this often?
Take off. You'll be right. Yeah, look.
It's supposed to get lost. About 3/4 of an hour.
Not supposed to go.
Yes, that's the bus we're going to travel on.
I'm Women's Home Defence, which it became a branch of the Home Guard, but in 1941 it was Women's Home Defence. But I think they mostly ended up on typewriters and such like, which wasn't very exciting, but at least they received some training, so just in case the Hun should invade.